People are freaking out over a video of a supposed giant on top of a mountain in Thailand, in the Chiang province. What makes this video very different is the fact that you can clearly see what looks like a humanoid figure on top of a mountain, but by the distance that it is, it has to be huge, and it's moving somehow just like a human would. I'm going to play the video and let you decide. Check this out. Check this out. Look at that. What the heck was that?
I found a way where we could heal instantly anything, absolutely anything, any disease, any illness, everything. I have them coming with every illness you could possibly think of. I see miracles every day in my office. And they wanted me to teach this method so everybody would know the importance of how you can use your mind. You have no idea how important, how powerful your mind is. You are a great and powerful creature. You should never, ever be sick. No aches, no pains, nothing. Because the body is a miraculous machine that's been created and perfected to take care of itself and heal itself if we don't interfere. So that's what I'm trying to show people. If you have an illness or something, you have done it yourself. You make yourself sick. And some of my clients say, well, what do you mean I don't want to be sick? But if the mind is that powerful that you can make yourself sick, it's also powerful enough to heal you. We find out, why did I do this to myself? And that's what I teach in my technique, is how to find this. And I've been perfecting this technique now for 45 years. And I'm teaching it everywhere, all over the world. We have thousands of students now in every country you can imagine. They're all learning it because it's fast, it's quick, and extremely effective. That's why I'm going to be here this next week. We're having one of the biggest classes I've ever had is going to be this week. Level 2 starts tomorrow. But then we have level 1, we've got about 120 people in that class. The largest one before that was one in Australia when I had over 90-something. And I have doctors, psychiatrists, all kinds of medical personnel are taking the classes and incorporating this into their practice. So you see, I've come a long way since the 60s. But that's the idea, is to show people you're more than just a physical body. You have such wonderful capabilities. And now is the time to bring all of this back and to show other people how we can do it ourselves, how you can use the power of your mind. So it's no longer a pipe dream. It is really happening. But they have told me many times through my clients, you find your passion. You find what you're really supposed to do, what you're here for. You don't get sick and you don't age because you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. And you're happy doing it. So that's probably why they said, I found what our mission is after raising a family and doing all this other thing. That's why I said I've had several lives in one. You know, my husband was in a wheelchair for 25 years after he was almost killed in the Navy and his body was crushed. So we had to get all that behind us and raising a big family before the universe said, now it's time to step into this role.
Let's see if we can fool her a second time. Let's see. He's fooled him once already.
That can only be done on TV.
A trick that can only be done on TV.
Cube. Mixed. 1 second. Solved.
You obviously switched them, but, you know. Okay. Obviously switched those.
Don't get ahead of me. As I said, this is a trick that can only be done on TV. Some of you may have seen me do this trick on TV, and you're thinking, I remember seeing that trick. I don't remember being this disappointed. That's because if you saw me do this trick on TV, you don't remember seeing that cheap green folder. It was there, you just didn't see it. That's because with this very specific shade of green, this
Green screen.
folder was able to be used as a green
Screen, yeah, got
now,
it.
on TV, a green screen can be digitally replaced with anything, which is why it's one of the unwritten rules of Fool Us that you can't use a green screen in your act, because I could just replace it with anything I wanted. Solve cube, mix cube, Fool Us trophy.
Hey, that's good editing. They actually edited that in.
Or
That's,
I could replace it with nothing. Make it look like the table is empty. And that looks great when it's me
Some good editing
and a TV
skills.
camera. Not quite as effective when it's me, a TV camera, and a live Las Vegas audience.
true.
Because all of you see that green screen, so you assume that behind it, there must be a mixed up cube.
You can see it right there. There's a cube right there.
Which there is. And if you assume there's a mixed up cube, you probably assume that all I'm doing is just switching cubes behind the screen. But that's not what I'm doing. I'm not switching cubes. Switching cubes isn't that practical anyway, because of what you see here, a solved cube and a mixed cube, you can only do the trick one time. The solved cube would start behind, the mixed cube would start out front. You can mix it more if you want, doesn't matter. It's never going to get solved. Then you'd put the mixed cube behind, you would make the switch, bring out the solved cube, and the trick would be over. Because if you're switching cubes,
Yeah.
you can't mix the solved cube. But like I said, I'm not switching cubes. So what if I did mix up the solved cube? And what if I did the trick again?
It's got two cubes.
See, a lot of you
There would be
were
three
really
cubes.
fooled for about 1 second. Because 1 second is all it took for most of you in this room to think, okay, he's using a third cube. All right, fine. But what if I did the trick again?
He's got four
See, at
cubes.
this point, you're not thinking he's got a fourth cube. You're thinking, how many cubes does this fool have? And if I was switching cubes, it'd be a lot. Because I'd want to do the trick over and over again. The problem is I wouldn't actually be solving any cubes. I would always be switching for a solved cube. So doing the trick over and over again just ends up being a domino effect. This cube gets switched for cube 1, then cube 1 gets switched for cube 2, cube 2 for cube 3, and so on. So at this point, you're not even impressed by the trick anymore. You're more impressed by my organizational skills. But you might be thinking, if I'm not switching cubes, can I do the trick without the green screen? Well, yeah. What is the easiest way to solve a cube on TV quickly without using a green screen? It's pretty simple. Just make yourself a green cube. Works the same way as a green screen. Every sticker is green, so you just digitally replace the stickers with anything you want. Solve cube, mix cube, Fool Us trophy.
I want that cube. I want that green
Two
cube.
problems. Number one, same live Las Vegas audience. And number two, I'm guessing it's one of the unwritten rules of Fool Us that you can't use a green cube in your act. My problem is I can't solve a normal cube quickly without hiding it. So if I can't use the green screen, I have to use something else. I could use my coat, but this doesn't prove that I'm not switching cubes.
Ooh.
It may prove that I'm some weirdo that likes to hide cubes all over my body.
That looked clean though.
I want you to forget all that. Just for a second, I want all of you to put yourself in Penn and Teller's place. If this really is a normal cube, and I'm not switching, then what is happening behind this green folder right now that allows me to do this?
I still think he's switching them. He's lying.
Well, obviously I can't tell you, but I can tell you I'm not switching cubes.
I don't believe you. Wait, there's nothing back there? Whoa! Where'd they all go? What? What?
Oh, that's crazy, man. Why did you guys not do
These earrings from
that?
Amazon, tarnished, and I was about to throw it away. Then I was like, TikTok has to have a solution. So I'm gonna try out what it just told me, and we're gonna see if this works. I literally have so much jewelry I was about to just throw away. I'm gonna feel so cool if this works. So first, you put foil on like a bowl. Okay, like I don't even care for these, but I have to try it out with them. This one's disgusting. I was gonna go to my trash, but now I'm very curious to see how this is gonna turn out. Okay, the lady said 1 tablespoon, but then other videos had like a bunch, so I'm just gonna put a bunch of baking soda. And they said add some salt, so I guess we'll do that too. Okay, then you just pour boiling water. Oh, I'm scared. Oh my god, the smell. Ooh. Okay, then you just like stir, I think. Oh my god, it doesn't smell very good. All right, now we're gonna wait for 2 minutes and then see if it did anything. I'm so excited. I literally feel like I'm in science class doing some cool experiment. I'm so impatient, but I don't think it's working. Didn't work, but I'm stubborn and I'm gonna redo it with actual measurements this time and see if that will work. Okay, I'm just gonna go from here. I'm literally in science class right now to here. Now I need the water to actually be disgusting so I know it's working, because why only know why it works for everybody else, huh? Literally, the internet is fake. You're all liars. I think it ruined these even more. Doesn't work.
Yo, good people. Thanks for watching up to this far, man. You all have been respected. You see, now that was something that shows us the need of being honest. Even when you do videos out there, you see, if those guys did those acts were honest, maybe that beautiful, amazing woman would have come up with a solution or a good result. Anyway, you guys that have been watching, you see, and hitting the like button, leaving a comments there, much love to you guys. You are all loved and respected. And I'm very thankful to the universe and to God for keeping you alive up to this far. You see, many things have happened through the year, but if you have seen this far, you are loved and respected. As people share love out there and have fun, also yourself share some love with those around you and caring and spread love all over, man. You see, that could be so nice. Just come through for a person. Giving does not require you to have much or extra. You just give willingly, even if you have small to share, and you shall be rewarded by the universe. Much love to everybody, man. You see, like now there was a comment was left here by MJ Stinston. Very sad comment, a touching comment, man. You see about how she has been struggling with her kids and to pay house rent and car has issues. You see, all that. You see, people go through a lot. And we really wish for good luck to everybody that watches. And all the people out there in the universe. May the universe always reward you with great things and good deeds. MJ System, everything will be well, man. And the universe will reward you. Much love to you. And to everybody that's watching, guys. Hit the like button and watch till the end. Help spread this message of love. You see, you are all loved and respected. Just keep watching.
Hey, quick question for you. What is happening in Maui? Did we all just forget? Did we all just forget what just happened there? Like, didn't a bunch of kids go missing? A bunch of them. Didn't they all go missing? And then also there was no parents looking for their kids. It's like the parents were missing, kids were missing. And we were all like, what is happening? And then all of a sudden it was forgotten about. Like, books closed.
Business license. I don't know if that's offensive to some of you, but it gives me quite a competitive advantage. You see, when you go to compete against me, I have no unemployment insurance to pay, no workman's compensation to pay, no income taxes to pay. In fact, I don't have any insurance to pay. And yet here I am competing with each and every one of you out here in the marketplace. Isn't that tragic? Well, I think you people ought to practice the law that I practice, but then I'm not here to force you to do anything you don't want to do. I just wanted to point out that there's some advantages that come from it, and it's called private business. Now, about 1900, your grandparents, your granddaddy, your great-grandfather, Abe Smith, practiced private business. Now, today, what we call private business isn't really private, it's public. But we call it private. And George Orwell pretty well put his finger on the pulse of the problem, you know, when we look up at the floor and down at the ceiling and speak from the blackboard and write on the podium. Now, if I taught you people that those were the definitions of those terms, we look up at the floor, we walk on the ceiling, we write on the podium and speak from the blackboard, and you know, pretty soon you could follow that and you'd practice that and you'd regurgitate that, and I'd say, would you walk over to the window and let's walk we'll look through the door and walk through the window. You'd get up and you'd walk through those doors back there because that's the window. And that's exactly the way the law has been applied, or it's been written in the last 50 or 75 years. I pointed this out with Social Security. When you go to Bovier's Law Dictionary and look up wages, it's property. And when you go to the Social Security Act, wages are income. Now, income is a profit and gain, which is derived from a privilege, but wages are property, which are derivative of a right. And rights and privileges are 180-degree opposites. So what's happened is Congress just comes along and appropriates a word named wages, because all of you use it every day. You work for wages. And then applied it to a contract and said, for the purposes of this contract, wages shall be construed to be income. Now you walk into court and say, well, my wages are property, and the judge promptly pukes on you and sends you off to Leavenworth for 18 months, and everybody wonders, well, what happened? Well, it's because you didn't understand English. See, you haven't read the terms and conditions of the contract. But there is a legal distinction between public and private business. Here's what they are. Business is said to be clothed with a public interest, which justifies some public regulation, may be divided into three classes. So, there are three classes of business. Now, I want to apply this to George Gordon's everyday life out on Main Street, and I don't want to pay any taxes. I don't want to pay an income tax. I don't want to collect a sales tax. I don't want a sales tax number. And I want to do business, and business is divided into three classes. I didn't write this. The Supreme Court wrote it. So I just want to learn what it is they're applying this to, and then I want to slip through the cracks. I'm going to apply this just exactly the way the lawmaker wrote it up. Those businesses which are carried on under the authority of a public grant of privileges, expressly or impliedly imposing the affirmative duty of rendering public service demanded by any member of the public, such as the business of a common carrier or a public utility. So if I'm going to operate a public utility, like a taxi cab, a bus, a truck, or something on that order, then I'm going to be regulated and controlled. So I woke up one day and I said, well, I guess I don't want a taxi cab. And I don't want a public utility. Number two, certain occupations regarded as exceptional, the public interest attaching to which, recognized from earliest times, has survived the period of arbitrary regulation of all trades and callings by Parliament and colonial legislatures, such as inns, cabs, and grist mills. So if you're going to run a hotel like this one or the Holiday Inn, a cab or grist mill or something like that, you're going to be regulated and controlled, and you're going to have your licenses, etc. So I said, well, now I can see what I can't do. Number three, other businesses which have come to have such a peculiar relation to the public that government regulation has been superimposed upon them, where the owner, by devoting his business to the public use, in effect, grants the public an interest in that use, and he subjects himself to regulation to the extent of that interest, such as a restaurant. If you're going to go to Denny's over here, they got a sign out on the street that says, "Welcome to Denny's, credit cards accepted." Now, the distinction between these is that it is the option to deal or to abstain from dealing which distinguishes private from quasi-public occupations. It's the option to deal or to abstain dealing. All right, so now, whatever it is I want to do, I have to have the capacity to deal or to abstain from dealing. This is called contract.
That's what's man? Oh, what an experiment. Coriolis effect. You don't know what that is, but just see. Coriolis. The anode and the cathode. There's some powder and electrolyte, salt water. Oh, okay. Oh man, wait. It makes sense somehow.
Mandela effects that'll make you question reality. So do you guys remember the little whiteout bottle where you just put little white paint on any mistake you made on papers back in the day in school? That was called whiteout, right? Well, yes, but it's not spelled like most people think it is. It's spelled W-I-T-E, not W-H-I-T-E. Number 2, the Barbie song. So we all know the Barbie song where it's I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world, right? Wrong. It's not in a Barbie world, it's in the Barbie world. Number 3, most people remember there being a robber emoji even though there never was one. I remember one being a little like striped shirt, a hat, a bag of money, and a mask, but that never existed. Number 4, push pops. Most people remember a little ice cream usually had like sorbet and it was the Flintstones usually on it. You push it up and those are push pops. But the actual name of them are push ups, not push pops.
Oh, what do you think happened?
Why do people cut their tennis strings?
If you were anything like me the first time I watched this video, you have absolutely no idea what's going on. But don't worry, I know exactly what's going on now, and I'm gonna share it with you. So this video absolutely popped off on TikTok. It has over 3 million likes, which is insane, and it just shows this guy cutting a tennis racket up. You can see he's got a pair of pliers, and he has some sort of system here to cut the lines in the tennis racket. The first time I watched this, I thought that this was just view bait, but after reviewing, I realized that there's actually a method to the madness. If you direct your attention up here, you can see that the lines in this tennis racket are very frayed. This is just from excessive wear and tear, and this happens with pretty much all tennis rackets, and once the lines get to this point, this is when you have to trade them out. But the thing is, these lines in the tennis racket, or pretty much any other racket sport for that matter, are under a lot of tension, so there's a special way that you have to cut them in order to avoid it exploding. So from what I gather, this guy's just replacing the lines in his tennis racket. From here, you bring it to a professional, or you can do it yourself. You just restring it, and it's good as new.
Oh, that's interesting, man. I'm good guy.
This is a thought. You are not this thought. Thoughts come, thoughts go. You, that which is aware of the thought, doesn't come and doesn't go. If a thought comes and a thought goes, and you don't come and go, then you can't be your thoughts. You have to be the watcher of your thoughts, awareness. Because if you were your thoughts, you'd be coming and going 60,000 times a day. But you don't, do you? Shut up, Tom, and tell me why you're telling me this. We suffer because we identify with our thoughts, not awareness. And you have 20 to 60,000 times throughout the day to identify with this over this, so no bloody excuses to practice. If you want some one-on-one help, shoot me a DM. Have a great day.
There's a secret that most people are never taught, but it's something that the universe craves for you to know. And not knowing this secret is largely responsible for a lot of the anxiety you might feel, the frustration you might feel, because you don't have your desires showing up in your reality and you feel like you're getting unlucky. This secret is crucial for you on your manifestation process. And that secret is, regardless of what anyone says, the universe operates on your beliefs. This is why everybody's manifestation process is able to be different, wildly different, vastly different. The universe operates on what you believe, and not the things you think you believe, but the things you actually believe on a deeper level, right? And this is why for some people, religion works. Religion brings them great fortune in their lives because they believe in the concept of God existing outside of themselves. There's a reason why other people are successful believing in being co-creators of their lives and that the universe and them are one. There's a reason why some people believe that hard work will bring them to success, and just brutal hard work using the logical mind will bring them to success, and why other people believe that they just get lucky, and why both things can be true at the same time for two different people. It's because they just truly believe it. And so now the work is figuring out, number one, what beliefs work for you. Because this thing can get really complicated if you don't take a step back and iron out what your beliefs are and what you want your beliefs to be about yourself and how you should move through the world and how the universe should respond to you. It's why some people have a God complex, for better or worse. It's why some people believe in God, as I said before. So now the work is figuring out what beliefs work for you. What beliefs are more efficient for you on your desires? I, for one, made the biggest leaps in my income, the biggest leaps in my personal life, in my relationships. Everything in my life got better tenfold, literally, when I started to iron out the beliefs that I wanted to display about myself. And when I started to believe in the power of the tongue, the power of my words, when I started to believe in my intuitive energy, and when I started to trust those intense signals, those things only got stronger for me. And what happens is my beliefs started to change the thoughts I had, the thoughts changed, the action, the words changed the actions, and all those things reinforced the beliefs. How do you change your beliefs? Go watch my other videos, but in summary, words are spells. Start casting the right spells. These spells dictate the reality that we live in. Deep meditation, deep hypnosis, so on and so forth. But the universe, if you heard nothing else from what I just said in the last 3 minutes, the universe operates on your beliefs. Pick the beliefs that are productive for you and spend as much time drilling those beliefs into your head until they become a part of your identity, and you will see that in the words that you say, the thoughts that you start to have, the feelings you start to embody. Things that used to bother you won't bother you anymore. People you start to hang around with, you will stop hanging around. Places you used to go to, you will stop going to, because you believe that these things are now poisonous and toxic for you, and they start to have a rotten energy for you. People who, I personally don't, but there are people who walk around with crystals and stuff, and that works for them because they believe it does. See where this goes? Of course, there's going to be someone in the comments that takes this super, super literally. But your job is to read in between the lines and get the higher level message of what I'm trying to convey here. Believe in the things that are most productive and efficient and effective for you. Hope that helps, guys. Let me know your questions in the comments. Follow for more.
Much love to you, good people!
Deep in Mpumalanga, Adam's calendar stands, one of Earth's oldest structures, dating back possibly 75,000 years. Surrounding it are ancient stone circles, remnants of a civilization lost to time. Archaeologists debate their purpose, suggesting astronomical significance. Legends hint at hidden chambers and treasures beneath, yet despite exploration, these whispers remain unconfirmed. The mysteries of Adam's calendar and the stone circles persist, blending historical facts with tantalizing myths, captivating the curious worldwide.
Did you know that color disappears the deeper that you go underwater? Red is the first color to disappear underwater, so I'm going to show you how this red bag starts to turn brown the deeper that I go. Color disappears underwater due to wavelength interference, and water absorbs some parts of the color spectrum faster than others. You'll often notice that underwater photographers use things like strobes, lights, and red filters to reintroduce color at depth. We're probably about halfway there or a little bit more, and you can see how much this bag has changed. As I'm going down, I'm actually equalizing, which is why my hand disappears and then comes back on the screen. Right there, I actually just point to a shark, a reef shark that's further in the distance. We are almost down to the sandy bottom, which is about 80 feet deep or 24 meters. So now that we're at the bottom, you can see the crazy difference from the surface to 80 feet down. I always wonder how many more colors are down here that I just can't see when I'm this deep.
Oh, I also did not know that. How?
Maybe paranormal check here. Take a look at this video. This was recorded by a witness on October 10th, 2023 in Colombia. He was recording what he initially thought was a normal thunderstorm. But there's something off about this thunderstorm. The noises and the sounds that are coming from it, they're not normal. Take a look at this and tell me what you think this is.
That's so creepy. Yo, that's incredible, man. What?
You have been strategically placed. You are exactly where you are supposed to be right now for a very specific reason, okay? All of us have been very purposely placed where we are, doing what we're doing around the people that we are around. Your energy has a very unique code that interacts with every single thing around it, okay? So when you get around other people, your unique energetic code interacts with their unique energetic code, and it makes things happen. Sometimes it's things you can see, but the majority of the time it's things that your human self can't see with your eyes, okay? It's energy moving, energy changing, and energy shifting. And this energy that you are interacting with, it doesn't just happen in the space where you are at physically. It happens and reverberates all the way out to the cosmos, all the way out through the entire universe, and then it pings back down to us here. When you are even just sitting on your couch in your house alone, scrolling through your phone, your energy, the codes of your energy is interacting with the space you are sitting in on your couch. And it is extremely important that you are doing what you're doing right now, no matter what it is that you're doing, whether you're sitting here doing nothing, whether you're going out into the world and doing tons and tons of things on a daily basis, whether you're driving to a job, whether you're helping, raising your children at home as like a stay-at-home parent. It doesn't matter what you're doing. The point is that wherever you are right now, it is very important that your energy is there. And that is the exact reason why you are where you are right now. Now, something very interesting is going to be happening for you soon, and you might have already noticed it happening. You are going to be experiencing magic happen again. Now, you've experienced this before in your life, but we are about to be experiencing magic to a whole other level. This is going to be something that goes beyond coincidences and beyond synchronicities. You are going to be experiencing things that do not feel real. And I feel like you're already starting to experience those things because the coincidences, the synchronicities, they are beyond any that you've ever experienced. And you are meeting people more and more and more now. And you are getting into situations more and more and more now that you have no explanations for. There's no logical reason why that is happening. Besides the fact that you are a magical being who was placed here for this very specific purpose right now.
This is the most recent baby I have made. She is the Macy kit by Cassie Brace. As you can see, she is very floppy. Just to clarify, this is a doll, not a real baby. I have rooted her hair. So you can see that is real hair. It's made from alpaca hair. And she is just absolutely gorgeous and floppy. Now this baby has already sold, but I do have others that will be coming up for sale on my Instagram, so go and check them out if you're interested.
Excuse me, what are you doing in here? This isn't your office trouble. Sir! You know where it is! I mean it is, but you've got fresh seed. Come on then, let's go. Let's go. Come on, little one. Come on in. Come on. Come on. You are such a little bugger. Come on, you're harassing me. He has seed, but he's a bit of a brat. Aren't you? You know? Is that what you wanted?
How many holes does a straw have? 1 or 2?
2.
2?
I say 2. You have 1 hole at the top,
Mhm.
1 at the bottom. Some people might say that that is just 1 hole, but it's not, because you could have a straw that has just the hole at the top and closed off at the bottom.
Straw is technically a tube, okay? It's not a hole, it's a tube, all right? And there's 1 hole at the end, and there's 1 hole at the other end. That's 2 holes. Well, we settled nothing.